first question I want to ask everybody is, in your opinion, what's been the most effective way that ISTE has been able to reach out to members and other educators in Second Life? So who wants to take that?
I'll address that, I think.
Go for it, Scotto.
Well, Smith mentioned it. I think the docenting is really key. As people come in, I even invented a word for it called workling, which is widening the circle, because you'll see at any given time there's liable to be 2, 5, 7, 10, a whole group of educators, and people come and go, but the discussions are always about teaching and learning, and just that front porch chat, I think, is one of the most wonderful things that ISTE does. Workling.
You might want to spell that.
WIRCLING. Widening the circle.
Oh, okay, cool. Anybody else want to chime in? Most effective way for ISTE to reach out to folks? Anybody want to say speaker series or anything like that? Just kidding.
I was going to say, too, that just the variety of buildings. The variety of buildings we have, the variety of speaker series, the variety of events really makes it for a rich, even the docent socials, all of that.
Okay, super. Ladies, anything to chime in?
Yes, I wanted to reiterate, because I think docenting is one of the most selfish things that I do. I mean, it's been 2 years, and Scott's right, or I think Spiff said, you always meet somebody really interesting. And that chat that Scott was talking about, it's what confirms it for us. The things, it's not just teaching, but really the people that come through here are trying to change the world, and that sounds a little utopian, but we really have that vision. And when you talk to other educators, it cements that mission, and I think as a group, we're going to have be much more empowered to really affect some changes.
I agree with No Clue. I think that the modeling and the mentoring that goes here is fantastic. I've never seen anything like it. And as a community, I think that the way that we give back to ourselves and to others, like I said, I haven't seen it anywhere else.
I'd like to chime in and say that I think ISTE's leadership in the educational space has been evidenced in one thing specifically, and that is their partnership with Linden Lab. As a result of the connections and close work we've done with Linden Lab over the years, we've been able to do things like the educator portal that Christy helped create, and so many other things where Linden is promoting promoting the educational uses of Second Life and promoting ISTE as a professional organization, and they've come to our events, and they featured the work of some of our folks in different parts of the site. And I know that Bernadine Porter right now is having her Atlantis Rising campus featured in the, I forget what it's called, I just blogged about it, a special program that they're doing recognizing 60 different landowners in all of Second Life, and Bernadine's one of them. For the space that she has created, the educational space called Atlantis Rising Campus. So I think that ISTE's close association with Linden Lab and Linden Lab's interest and willingness to work with educators directly has really helped a great deal. Last question of the evening, and we can start to wrap up. What advice do you all have for individuals out there who may be reluctant to use Second Life, either with their classes or as a vehicle for personal professional development?
Kevin, I think that it's the most important facet of my personal learning network. I Twitter, I blog, I podcast, all that sort of stuff. Clerk, But Second Life is where I learn. Every time I set virtual foot in Second Life, I learn something, and it's usually through interacting and chatting and talking with some other interested educator.
And I would like to chime. Oh, I'm sorry, Scott. Finish your thought.
Wanted to say I just checked my group info, and there are 4,784 members of ISTE in Second Life.
The largest educational-only group in the entire metaverse. Thanks, Scott.
Yay!
Oh, I was just going to say, and I get teased a lot about my gaming or my little virtual world, and it's never bothered me because for me it's not about Second Life. Second Life is the conduit that makes this all happen. And I always say to people, try it. There's no, you can't weigh in if you haven't done it.
I think too, I try and tell people, a lot of people hear about Second Life through kind of an entertainment lens and get kind of a stereotypical perception of it. And so I try and tell people, I think I heard it by Rita King on her presentation about virtual worlds in Islam. She said, seek and ye shall find. And if you want to find kind of the bohemian lifestyle, it's out there. But if you want to find good educational quality resources and connections, here it is. So seek and you shall find, I think, was a good way to put it.
Kevin, can I say one more thing and I'll be quiet?
Sure, go ahead.
If I hear I don't have enough time for my first life, how can I deal with the second life? One more time, I'm just going to scream. I tell people that Second Life is not a second life. It's just an extension of my first life, my life, into another platform. And that's an argument or a perspective I hope that people can share with the disbelieving. That's it.
Yeah, I want to follow up on that, but let's give Christy a chance to chime in.
Thank you, KJ. I can't say that I disagree with anything that I've heard here. When I hear or when I get questions about how can I participate, how can I contribute, what are my next steps here? And my thought is, just by being here, one of the I think what makes Second Life so rich is that just by being here, you're an active participant. And ISTE really does make it really easy to play and to learn and to experiment. It's a really nurturing environment. So I hope that everyone, takes this opportunity to really and takes advantage of everything that ISTE has to offer in terms of learning how to make Second Life, like Scott said, a part of your first life and make it work for you and your own professional goals.
That's an excellent segue, Christy, and let me pirouette directly into an add-on comment for Scott. And the comment about we hear it all the time, I don't have time for my first life, how can I have time for a second life? And it's all very funny when people like to say that, but it's all about value. And we have seen very quickly, once we get in Second Life, what the value is. But not everybody sees things as rapidly as we do. Everybody has a different lens, a different perspective. The benefit of ISTE's infrastructure and what they've built here, the islands that you can explore, the docents that will guide you, the free stuff that you can get to change your appearance and to get your avatar up to speed, these events, the socials, everything about this makes it super, super easy to see the value. Back when we joined, we had Thursday night socials and show and tells and one building in ISTE Island. And since then, it's grown obviously to what it is today: 4 islands, multiple venues, and just so many different services that are provided. That there's really no reason for anyone not to give it a try for their own personal development and see and experience it. And then once they've been in, then they can say, hey, it's not for me. But until they get in and have a chance to talk to somebody from, Tokyo or London or Buenos Aires or other part of the world and share ideas and just to get the sense of presence that you get here in Second Life, that you're actually with this person that's halfway around the world, it's just incredibly powerful. And I think when people see that, they will ultimately say, this is interesting enough that I'm going to find some time to do it. And that's ultimately what it amounts to, is finding time.